Hey guys! So welcome to my channel. My name is Bibi and I have the group and page Celestial Guidance by Bibi, a psychic medium and also a psychic life coach. So if you are watching this now and you see a little red button, I guess, on top that says live, then that means I'm live right now. If you don't see that, that means that you're watching the replay version of this. So if you're watching it on replay, I will not get your questions. So I just want to let you guys know in advance. All right. So I see we already have a few people joining in today. Hey guys. I just washed my hair and it's so wet. It's like literally dripping water. Anyhow, back to this. Okay, so today we are here because we're going to be doing questions and answers for common questions about paganism, Wicca, witchcraft, spirituality in general. And basically you guys just ask your questions and I answer it. And I'm also going to be discussing shamanism and reincarnation today. As a disclaimer, I do want to let you guys know a little bit about myself. So I have been practicing for 19 years. I've been pagan a little longer than that. I am a practicing witch. I do practice the religion of Wicca. And everything that I'm telling you is coming from my personal experience, the research that I have done, and things that I have personally gone through. I am just one person, and so many people in many paths are going to have many different experiences. So don't take my word as a one all save all, you know. Take it as a grain of salt like anything else, and you know, if you want to do further research, do more research on it and see what else you find, see what resonates with you, and take what resonates with you, and what doesn't resonate with you, just let it go. We're all here on our own journey and we're here to get what we're meant to gain from it. So another few little things about me is I do psychic tarot readings, and I do those privately as well as live. Actually, I'll be live doing for you psychic readings at 7 p.m. tonight, so you come and join me then. Also, I do life and relationship coaching, and I do Wicca one-on-one, where we focus on the spiritual aspect of it and living your life as a lifestyle. So not necessarily as the tools and the magics and the, you know, how can I put it, the do's and don'ts, but more like what it's like to live your life in a spiritual path like this one, which is a nature-based religion. So before I continue, I'm gonna go ahead and say hi to you guys and see see if you guys have already started having some questions. If you guys want to join me on this live, you're welcome to. If you have some input on any of these subjects, mention it so on the comment, and then send me a request to add you, and I will go ahead and add you so we can have a split screen and we can discuss it. Okay, so let's see who's here today. Welcome Sinha, Jen, Nene, Eric, Jay, welcome guys, Lisa, Gloria, Tammy, it's nice having you guys here. So serious, I'm not, Shakid, I'm not doing readings right now. That's at 7 p.m. Right now what we're doing is having an open conversation about spirituality, Wicca, witchcraft, paganism, and particularly today I'm going to be discussing shamanism and reincarnation, which are subjects that I've had people request for me to talk about. All right, welcome Ken. Hi Christy. Hey Andy. Wayward spirits. I've actually never heard of that term, wayward spirits. Has anybody else heard about that? Let me write that down on my to learn list. What are wayward spirits? Yeah, so I've never actually even heard of that term. So if somebody else here does know about that and wants to join, send me a join request and I will add you so that you can answer that. And I myself will do some research and I will be getting back to you guys on that on a future live, okay? Hey Alex. Hey Rob, how are you? Christy says, why am I so drawn to the moon when I am a sun sign? Well, being drawn to the moon or the sun has nothing to do with what sign you are, because you can be a water sign and be drawn to the moon, or you can be an earth sign and be drawn to the moon. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to ask, let me see what the spirits say about that. Why would you be so drawn to the moon? Because I think that, to be honest, it's an individual situation. Like, I find myself very, very drawn to the moon. I've always felt drawn to the moon, but I've always been very tuned in with nature. And so as the cycles of the moons come and go, I actually get impacted by it. So that's me. But so for you, let me see what I get. So for Christy, he wants to know why she is so drawn to the moon. What would be a reason why? I'm being told that many of us, we don't even start here. Like, our incarnations, we don't even start here on Earth. And so what happens is, when you are looking at the moon and you're feeling a connection with the moon, it's more like you're having a connection with not being here, with being drawn to the energy of the celestials. Because it's almost like that's home. Not necessarily the moon, but the celestials is home, because you didn't start off here. Like, we have many, again, this is based on my research and this is based on my personal experience. We have many incarnations, and it's just very possible that for you, Christy, and for many, that's just the case. Okay. Oh, thank you, Rob. All right, let's see. Lisa says, I would just like let any information that will help me desperate for things to get better. Lisa, join me at 7 o'clock. That's when I'll be doing those readings. All right. Okay, cool. So I don't see any questions here. So meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and get started with shamanism. That'll be the first subject I'll touch. So, on one of my last lives, someone asked me if I resonated with shamanism and if I felt that that had something to do with, that relate to Wicca, or how did I resonate with that. And so, after doing some research, I realized shamanism is just another form of paganism. So this is what I discovered. Some of the things that are believed in shamanism are the basic belief in animism. Animism is a belief that all things, beings, have its own life force, its own value, and everything has its purpose of existence. And so it all should be respected and honored. So that means different things to different people. So for one person you say honor and they think, oh, it's worshiping. And then for others you say honor and it just means respect. So that's gonna vary by the individual. But in shamanism, they believe that everything has its own source, its own life, and that they can attune to this to help do shamanic healings. They also believe that they have a very strong connection with the spirit world, and they're able to communicate to the spirit world. And when I'm saying the spirit world, we're talking about like fairies, we're talking about spirits, we're talking about just basically anything on the other veil of the unknown, from what we're accustomed to in a 3D version. Let's see, what else did I learn? That they used a lot of they use a lot to heal. They use a lot of like drumming and a lot of instruments for the vibration. So basically they use sound for healing purposes, and they also use herbs for healing purposes. So that's something else I learned. I guess I should have taken some more notes. Let me see if I did take any notes that I didn't mention. I was trying to look at the history of shamanism and where did it come from, where did the belief came from. And actually I learned that it's actually one of the oldest like belief systems, religious. So it's pretty much pagan. It falls under paganism. And I actually also learned that there is a type of Wicca that is practiced that's called shamanic Wicca. So it's very, very pretty much almost exactly to what I work with. Let me see. And they also that they consider magic as a manifestation of spirits. So basically miracles are magic, and magic is created through spirit. Trying to see if there's anything else. Next time I promise to be a little better prepared, and I'll write down the notes, you know, so that I don't forget anything. And then so yeah, so if you guys have any further questions about that, let me know, and I will do more research and I will present you guys with more information. But I wasn't able to find much more than that. I'm pretty sure that I've mentioned everything that I did find in it, and because it's something that is mainly passed down like person to person, and you know, it's not necessarily like there's a book. You know, now there is, because we have tons of books and things, but there's not like a book that has been passed down for generations that has like, okay, this is the laws, this is how it's created. It's very open. And pretty much it's more of a practice than a religion or anything like that. And this practice can be integrated in pretty much any belief system, as far as long as it's an open belief system. Alright, so I'm going to look at some of the comments, and then I'm going to go ahead and see about starting to talk about reincarnation. Alright. So Tony, the live readings are going to be at 7 p.m. Join me then. Hey Kim. Nice to have you back. Are you affected by this storm? No, I'm not actually, Lisa. It's going up more north, so it's missing us all together. But prayers out to those that it is hitting, because it's hitting at a category 4 hurricane, and I've been through that. That's intense. I was through that when I was much younger. Champagne says, is their relations to birthmarks, for example, shamanism and bow to reincarnation. Yes. I don't know if there is birthmarks relation to shamanism. I actually did not read anything about that. I didn't see any videos on that, but I did see that, and I actually, it's part of what I'm gonna, thank you for bringing that up. Definitely has been seen as far as birthmarks having to do with the reincarnation. I actually shared a video by Edge of Wonder, and I'll link it again. And they actually talk about that in the video. It's a YouTube channel that they're just phenomenal. They talk about all kinds of subjects. And yeah, if you guys want to join and subscribe to them, I promise you're gonna love them. I'm a huge fan. So anyhow, yeah, so the birthmarks, they show up. They have been linked to basically where the injury was, or where the issue was, like when you passed in your past life. So for example, say you had something on your head, maybe you had a cancer there, or maybe you were shot there, or maybe there was some trauma with your head. Say you were stabbed, so in the area that you were stabbed, you would find that you would have a birthmark there, and things like that. I actually, this is a little different, but I've actually found that I'm a massage therapist. I do rehabilitation work, and I have a sense, I can sense when people have natural abilities and they don't even realize that they have them, right? And so, like, I'll notice when I'm working on them that they'll have a birthmark, and I'll be like, and it's a birthmark that is not like a common birthmark. It's like, okay, something was going on there. And so I'll ask them, you know, do you find that your intuition's a little stronger, or do you find that, you know, and 9 out of 10, the person is a person who experiences the spiritual realm in one way or another, through dreams, through strong intuition. And what I feel personally is, if you have that and it's already developed in you, without you even trying to develop it, it's because you've had incarnations where in the past you've had these gifts, you know, and so they've kind of grown with you, and it shows up in that. So far, 10 out of 10, every time I see that and I'm like, is there something with this person? 10 out of 10, it's been the case that there has been some kind of relation to that. And when I have brought up reincarnation, they definitely feel that there is a possibility, because they either remember something, or they get a strong sense of something, or they've had deja vu, things like that. So definitely with that. All right, let's see. Hey, Tito. Hey, Lisa. Again. Freda. Bridget. So, desperate for knowing if I will be getting my disability. So, Bridget, I'm going to be doing the live readings at 7. Join me then, okay? We're having discussion today. All right. So, Tony says, thank you, Freda. Do you see anything on me? We're going to be doing those kind of things later. So, oh, you're in the middle of the storm. I hope your electricity doesn't go. I didn't even know it was going to hit you. Well, be safe, Gloria. Daphne says hello. So, thank God, yeah, sending prayers. They say same thing happened 109 years ago. Wow. Candy says hello. Sebastian says, hey. I'm doing good, Sebastian. I know we haven't talked in a while, but I've been meaning to message you. I'll probably message you sometime by tomorrow or something. Alright, says, hi. So, Agnes says, hi, I do believe in reincarnation. I have a book on shamanism, but have never got around to reading it. You know what? To be honest, I would recommend it. I would definitely recommend that you look into that, especially if you're into spirituality. I found that it is just a belief system that just feels really natural for anyone who has a reverence for nature and who wants to align with the spirit world. I would definitely look more into it. I loved it. I read about it and I was like, this is basically the same thing I practice. There might be a few differences as far as like what my ethics or are in my religion and my path than perhaps theirs, but in general we're preaching the same, and so I would definitely recommend it. Yes, I know who this is. See Moral. I know it's Sebastian. I was born without a birthmark, says Gloria. Is there something wrong with me? No. Oh, too funny. Okay, so while I have seen that, you not having one does not mean that you did not have a past life, and it definitely does not mean that there's something wrong with you. That's funny. I don't know if anybody else found that funny, but I found that funny. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you, Gloria. You're fine. But I have seen that is a common thing, but you probably have had past lives. I'm pretty sure you have, especially the fact that you are able to sense things. You just might not have had any traumatic death in those that has had any places where it's showing. All right. Hey, Sharon. Nice to see you, darling. All right. Bye, Sebastian. Kim says, this is so interesting. I need to do more research. Yes, I'm always researching. I'm like constantly researching things. And when you guys give me subjects, I look into them more and more and more. Lately, I have actually started researching what are the origins of Satan? What are the origins of the Abrahamic religion? What are the origins of paganism? And so that's what I've actually been reading up on and looking at. And I've been having some interesting findings. I'll share that with you guys once I have all my findings. I have it from biblical text information and going based on that, and then I'm going also based on historical legends, and even trying to see, I'm looking for geological evidence now. So once I have all my ducks in a row, I'll be presenting that information too. Alright. Kim says, I have a big birthmark brown on my wrist. What do you think that means for you, Kim? What do you think happened in a past life that could have shown up on your wrist like that? Do you find that you remember any of your past lives? Freda, I'll be live at 7 p.m. Eastern time, so that's a few hours from now. Fatima says, why do we have dreams? I had 2 dreams and remember what they are. Okay, so here I'm going to go with more of a personal belief experience of why we have dreams. It's not something I recently researched, so it's not something that I'm going to be able to give you scientific background on like I like to do. But dreams are a representation of our fears, of our desires. So it's our fears, our desires, future predictions, and subconscious interpretations of what's going on in our lives and even in, let's just say that, let's leave it at that, because if I go into other dimensions and other multiple realities, I'm just gonna confuse you guys. So let's just leave it at that. So why do we have those dreams? Sometimes we have them to warn us. Sometimes we have them to express how we're feeling, because we're not able to do so, or we're not aware that we're even experiencing those feelings. And so we live through them in our dreams, like fantasies. We have dreams simply because they are a representation of our fears, and it's just what happens in our subconscious. Like when we're afraid of something and we keep replaying it, it falls into our dream, and then it continues to replay it. When you have dreams, I mean, I have a million books on dreams, but I rather go to Laura Labrie. She does dream interpretations. I'm trying to add her to my team because she is phenomenal. I've gone to her, and it's nothing like you opening a book and seeing, oh, this word means this or this word means that. It's nothing like that. She's just so good. She can go into so much detail, and man, I mean, you really finish with her and go, wow, okay, I get it now. And you're able to do something with that information. Like I found that when she interpreted a dream for me, or several dreams, I was like, oh my God, it all makes so much more sense. And I was able to make changes in my reality that not only made those dreams go away, but it actually helped me move forward in life. And it helped me spiritually grow and become more confident and understand things better. So having a good dream interpreter is always a plus. But we can't all afford it, and you know, sometimes even I can afford it, and you know, you go with what you can. So here's what I do when I have dreams. I don't go to the book. Instead, I go, what does that animal, what does that thing, what does that situation actually mean to me? So for someone, a snake would be scary, right? Well, I don't find snakes scary. I respect them, but I'm not afraid of them, you know? So maybe to someone, they might dream of a snake and it might represent fear. You know, an eagle might represent freedom. So a toilet might, you know, dirty. You know, a knife may be backstabbing. So, you know, it's like your brain will associate in your dreams, like it will show you through symbolism. In other words, is what I'm trying to say. And so I would look to see how it represents in your life, in reality. Like, what do you think about that particular thing in real life? And then see, how is it that it plays in your reality? Okay, so if it said a snake showed up, for example, and you're like, okay, well, I'm afraid of snakes. Okay, so maybe I'm afraid. What am I afraid of? So then you look at other parts of the dream. And what do those things represent in real life? And then that's how you start to correlate one or the other. Maybe you don't think you're afraid. So maybe you look at the snake and go, okay, I see a snake and I see beautiful. Okay, and then you see the situation. What is beautiful about that situation? You know, things like that. So that's how I find that I correlate things when I can afford it. But if I could afford it, when I do, that's who I go to, Laura Labrie. I'll tag her underneath so you guys have her information. She is just, I mean, the best. I've had dream interpreters before, and I can't speak highly enough from her. She really is amazing. All right. So Joe says, will I be lucky enough to have another baby? Joe, we're doing live readings at 7 p.m. Also 3-4 months been having episodes where it's like I'm watching myself from a small distance above. It's only a few seconds, but I quickly have the inner voice calling me back. Oh, where did it go? I was reading. No. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I found it. Okay, I quickly have my inner voice calling me back when I was in garden with my daughter and partner. Monday, my voice said, "You're with this family now. I'm just not sure if I'm losing my marbles." All right. I'm going to read it again in my mind, and then just to make sure I captured everything. Also, the last 3 months, I've been having episodes where it's like I'm watching myself from a small distance, but no, I don't think you're losing your marbles at all, Joe. What is happening is you're kind of having what we call an out-of-body experience, and you're just not going very far, and you are being able, it's like your higher self talking to yourself, and you're able to, there's a higher message there for you, and I would just pay closer attention. I would not think I'm losing my marbles, and I wouldn't discredit it either. I would go, okay, I'm with this family now. Why would I be saying that? What is going on in my life? Why would I not want this family right now? What do I need to take from that experience? Okay. Definitely, please do not discredit. You're just having an out-of-body experience, which is normal to have, especially if you're a spiritual person. It can just, some people can just do it. Other people can't do it at all. Other people have to work on it. But if it is happening to you, don't freak, not going crazy. Just acknowledge it and see how it plays out in your life. If you want to discuss it, feel free to private message me, and we can just talk, and we can discuss it, and maybe you can give me more details that you're not giving me here, and I can help you better understand it for yourself. Okay, Joe? All right. Candy says prayers to everyone in the middle of that storm. Yes. So I'm actually, when I go live at 7, I'm going to make sure to do a prayer, and hopefully everyone will join me with them. Right, okay, I'll PM you. Let me write that down on my to-do list of things I gotta do. PM Freda Garcia. Okay, I got you here, girl. Yeah, not everyone has birthmarks. That's funny. I don't have a big birthmark or different birthmark either, and I'm positive I've had past life experiences. Kim says, I'm going through the dark night of the soul. Is that a book, Kim? I had 2 dreams. What not good? Why I wake up at 4:45 every morning. Look to see what those numbers represent. So 4:45, so normally it'd be like 111 or 222. Look into, Fatima, look into numerology and see angelic numbers, and see what those numbers represent as far as what the messages from the angels could be bringing to you. Okay, Christy says, as an empath, how do I decipher between my spirit guides, other energies, and my own desire? Oh, that's not an easy one. All right, so let me see, how do I do it? As an empath, how do I decipher between spirit guides, others' energies, and my own desires? Okay, what I do when I can't figure it out, I actually say, okay, I want to talk specifically and only to my spirit guides. Let me feel, see, and hear what I must. What is your message to me? And then I actually, for me, this is what I do. I write that down. And then I go, all right, BB. And I talk to myself as a third person, and I go, okay, BB, what do you really want? You know, I know what you want, but is that really what you want? Or is that what you think you want? You know? And then I write what comes through with that. And I ask for no interference, so that I'm just talking to my higher self, and I'm able to then compare and contrast. I normally don't tend to have that too much as far as with decipher with other people's energies. I always just feel other people's energies, and sometimes it just sucks because it's a lot and it's hurtful and it's sad or it's depressed. But I understand that my purpose is to help people heal. So it's just kind of part of what I'm gonna feel. And so when I do feel those things, I ask myself, do I have a logical reason to feel this way? If I don't, then I know it's not mine. That's pretty simple. If I don't have a logical reason to why I feel this way, then I know it's not my emotions, my life, my things, my desires, my problems. I know it's coming from somewhere else. And then I try to figure that out. I hope that helped. Let me know if that helps. Hey, Sarah. Alright, Gloria says, because I have severe PTSD due to my abusive past, I would have night terrors, but wouldn't remember them. Well, I hope you're not having them now. Are you? Are you having night terrors now? Christina says, hello. Fatima, that's interesting. You say snake, and I was talking about a snake as an example. Look to see what that means represents to you. And what are you running away from? Because you're obviously running away from something. So what is that? So Gloria says, my family had a psych doctor, not a psycho, a psych doctor put me on medication, so now I don't dream. Does this affect my spiritual growth? No, it does not. It does not affect your spiritual growth at all. Because dreaming is not necessarily correlated with your spiritual growth. It is, again, a tool that you can use if you do have it to decipher it. But if you don't have it, you don't have to worry about it. And Gloria, you personally have a very strong intuition. You know, so I would say go with that. You know, instead of worrying, okay, well, I don't get dreams. I don't have that birthmark. You know, it's not going to affect your spiritual growth at all. Hey, Baron. All right. Joe, like I said, just message me. All right, before I continue, I'm going to stop there because I want to go ahead and start talking about reincarnation a little bit. And then I will continue answering questions. Let me see. I got plenty of time. Okay. So, let's talk about reincarnation. I'm going to start with why I believe reincarnation exists. I believe reincarnation exists because, based on my personal experience, I have had situations that have shown me that, okay, so I had an experience during my awakening that I was basically shown that we continue to come down here to have experiences. So it was something that was said to me in the spirit realm that led me to solidify my belief. I've always believed in reincarnation. So that's not the reason why, but that is what solidified it. One of the reasons that I believe we do reincarnate is because it makes sense. At least to me it does. So in different religions, you have the situation where you're like, okay, well, that doesn't answer. So if there is a God, how come all these bad things happen? If there is a God, why does evil exist? If there is a God, why do I have to suffer so much? Why does he not answer my prayers? Why is he not there for me? And some religions want you to believe that the reason why is because you're not being good enough. You're not being loyal enough. You're not giving enough money. You're not repenting enough. Because he's testing you. I mean, there's so many answers to that. But my answer to that is because we have to experience this. So this is my belief based on my research, based on my personal experience, dying and coming back, and what I learned in wherever I was, the afterlife. This is what I learned. There is no right, wrong, good, or bad as a soul. As humans, yes, definitely plenty of evil, definitely plenty of bad, definitely plenty of horrible things, okay? But as a soul, as spirit is what I mean, as a what continues to come back into different vehicles, our bodies being vehicles. What comes back is, so you go into the afterlife, right? And then you're there and you go, okay, this was the life I lived. This is what I experienced. This is what I learned. This is how I felt. And you gather everything that you've gotten from that. All the bad, all the good, everything. And you don't judge it with an emotional stance. You judge it with a understanding that you had to experience those things in order for you to understand what it's like to experience those things. Okay? Why is it important to experience these things? So before we come, we go ahead and we make this plan. Okay, this is what our life is going to be like. I like to say our life is written in pencil, pen, and permanent marker. Some things, choices that you make, am I going to eat the sandwich, am I not going to eat the sandwich, written in pencil. Pen are the things that are more likely than not going to happen, things that you'll get in a reading, but that by knowing you can make a difference and change things. You can white it out. Then the other things like permanent marker, and those things are the things that you planned when you were in the form of a soul and said, okay, I need to come to that life to have this detailed experiences because I'm there to learn this particular thing. When we come back into this human form, we experience amnesia and we don't remember what the plan was. Some kids do, and then they, some people do, and most of us don't. Sometimes when you have a near-death experience or things like that, you will come back from the afterlife knowing, without that amnesia, why you were here and what that you did have a higher purpose and what that could have been. So you come here and say you're a horrible person, say you're Hitler, and you kill all these people, and you're like, well, obviously that's evil. Yeah, be evil, very much so. But there was a purpose for that. And as souls, we gain things from it and we grow from them. We know, those involved know what it's like to be murdered now. And so eventually when they can become spirit guides themselves, when they are becoming more enlightened and able to help others, I feel that the reason we reincarnate is because we're growing. We're growing, we're enlightening, we're becoming more developed into a more spiritual state. And the more negative things we experience, the more we know how to help others in those situations. When we are more enlightened, we have to experience these bad things to know how to help with these bad things. So that's why bad things happen. That's why life sucks. Not because God is punishing you. You know, it's not like someone's out to get you. It's just is what it is, and we're here to experience it so that we can grow. And we need both the good as well as the bad. We are a world of duality, and on this earth, since we have this duality, it's the duality that helps us grow. We learn faster, and this is just human basic stuff. We learn faster when we hurt ourselves than we do by someone else telling us, oh, you're gonna hurt yourself. We learn faster by experiencing negative things than we do by being told, hey, that bad thing can happen. So it's just our human nature to go that route. I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna see what are the comments. If you have questions about anything I just mentioned, ask me, and I will go ahead and do my best to answer it. All right. Sarah says, none of us are crazy. There is so much more to the world than the human mind can fathom. It's something that can only truly be understood once we move on to the next realm, past the limitation of the human mind. I love the way you worded that, Sarah. That was really, really good. And I want everyone to take that from this. If you're having a spiritual experience, or if you're having an experience that the regular society would call you crazy, then know that you're not crazy. It is real. And the reason you think it's crazy is because you've been taught to discredit it. But if you choose to not discredit it and give it the credit that it is due, you will see that it is a very real thing in your reality, and it's everywhere. Okay. Joshua says it's hot down there. Bring ice. Okay. Chrissy says yes, ma'am. Awesome explanation. Thanks. Good afternoon. Kim says, I've had out-of-body experiences, OBE. We all go out of body every night, but don't remember. The dark night of the soul is a long story. It's a call. It's a spiritual awakening. Chris Goodness. Okay. That is also very true. When we sleep and our conscious mind goes to rest, we do have out-of-body experience. So have you ever felt like you have woken up, but you can't actually get up? And not because someone's holding you down, things like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like you're awake, but you can't quite wake up. And it's because like your spirit hasn't quite gotten back yet, and so you're like, hey, I'm ready to get up, and they're like, oh wait, I haven't gotten back yet, you know. And so in that merging meantime, that happens, but it tends to be pretty quick and tend to get back pretty quickly. Sarah says, I've had past lives, 2 that I can remember. Sarah, if you ever want to share those, actually if you want to share it now, send me the request and I'll go ahead and add you so you can share them. Hi Tim, Dennis, China. Hi Mama. Congratulations on your baby that you're going to be having soon. Sarah says, the way I feel is you cannot have light without dark. Therefore, you cannot have good without evil. We suffer so we know what true glory is. When we're shown it, everything we go through strengthens us. Mentally, physically, and emotionally. I was raised in a Christian home, but have many different beliefs on specific subjects. That was I agree completely with Sarah on that. Hi Yami. Kim says, all of us got a dark and light side. Yes. It's like the yin yang, you know, to all positive, there's some darkness, and for all darkness, there is some positive out there. I could go on in a lot more detail about that, but I won't for now. All right, so I don't see any more questions. I feel I've discussed the subjects that I came to discuss. If you guys have any questions about what we discussed, or any further things that you guys would like me to talk about, please comment and I will discuss it on a future live. Please do join me at 7 p.m. is when I will be doing my live readings. So join me then for that. And I'm going to be linking the reincarnation videos from Edge of Wonder so that you guys can go watch those and enjoy. They give you a lot of information. And yeah. All right, guys. I'll wait a few seconds. If I don't see any other questions, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day for this one. All right, bye guys.